Hi, if we've never met before, I'm Dom. This is our hour of a yoga hatha-based flow. I will say on Instagram that there's been, since they changed things to Instagram Reels, I haven't been able to record videos properly. So if you're watching and we cut out, I recommend that you head over to YouTube, Dominique Cheshire Movement, and we will have the class running live for you there, as well as there will be a version of it that exists forever. Yay. Hello. Hi, YouTube. So lovely to be here with you. So if you would like to collect props, we are going to need something like a blanket or a cushion to sit up on. Eventually, we're going to start lying down today. Blocks if you have them, or block substitutes. Anything that makes you feel extra cushiony. I will let you know that the blueprint for today's flow is way more on the calm end of the spectrum. I have a few things that I'm working through myself. And so in order to create a visual of practice together, we're going to practice nice and calm. So with all of that in mind, let's take ourselves all the way onto our backs, please. And if you would like to slot a blanket underneath your head, you're more than welcome to. And if you want a super cushiony fold, instead of, it's hard to see because of the fringe, but instead of folding perfectly in half, can you fold like 60%, 40%? Does that make sense? We can all see that. And so once you lie that down, the base of your shoulders will go on that extra little lip, and then the rest of you will go over top of it. Lying all the way down. Taking the shape of what I like to refer to as a constructive rest, but my teachers like to refer that to as well. So letting your feet plant on the floor, letting your thighs fall in towards each other, letting your hands rest on your body wherever feels the most appropriate, and maybe that's not even on your body at all. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling it out. Breathing it in through the nose. Exhaling it out through the mouth. Maybe this breath starts to transition into inhaling and exhaling from the nose. And if it feels super reasonable to have your eyes closed, please feel free to do so. If it doesn't feel reasonable, then maybe keep them open, but see if you can turn your gaze inward so it's a little more dimmed. We're not like staring up at things. Although if that's what you want to do today, your practice, your choice. I'm going to move into a nice version of a calming breath. And I hope it feels nice for you too. Oh, really getting relaxed and my body's like, yes, 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 yes. So we're going to work through inhaling and exhaling primarily through the nose. However, if that's not an option, feel free to mouth breathe if you need to. And so let's take a nice breath in together. This one through the mouth, let it out. Through the nose, inhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Little celebration, and then breathing out for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhaling it in for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhaling out for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going with your own timing here. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. And if you feel like you would like to add on to this breath and elongate it, we're going to add a 4-beat hold on either end. So catching up, let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, hold it at the top for 4, 3, 2, let it go for 4, 3, emptying the belly, 1, empty, hold 4, 3, 2, getting ready to inhale in for 4, 3, 2, hold at the top for 4, 3, 2, getting ready to empty for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold empty 4, 3, 2, one more round like this. Inhale for 3, for 2, for 1, hold at the top 4, 3, 2, ready to empty for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big inhale in. Exhale it out. Maybe take those arms, reach them up overhead if you have the space for it. Walk your feet out and just let them go for a little teeter-totter, a little windshield wiper side to side. Staying connected to that nice calm breath that we've cultivated. Walking your feet back up to center. Let's take the right leg, let's reach it up. Let's give that ankle a nice circle. Opening and closing and squeezing through those toes. Circling around. And then going the other way. Keep going like that. Circling. Flexing and not flexing. Squishing and not squishing through those toes. And then let's take that right leg, let's turn it out and do the same thing. So you've externally rotated through your leg, little circle through those ankles and toes. Then let's go back to center. Let's internally rotate it. Notice it's teeny tiny. It's not going to be that big. Keeping your leg internally rotated. Circle through that ankle. Scrunching and unscrunching the toes. Come back to center. Give that leg a little shakety shake shake. And let's cross that right ankle over the left knee. Let's give that a little rockety rock side to side. And without using your hands, is it possible, keeping your tailbone anchored, to roll up to those left toes, feeling the ankle and the thigh, using each other for leverage, giving a bit of resistance to open that right thigh, and then draw the left thigh in. Opening out through that right thigh, trying not to use your hands, creating as much tension as you can. And only once you feel like you've got all that tension going, then maybe looping your hands around the back of your thigh and opening it up. Giving yourself a little rock and roll here. But again, not trying to let this be passive, keeping lots of activity happening here. Drawing that thigh in as we rock side to side. Placing that left foot on the floor. Scoot your bum as much as you need to the right, to then let this shape fall to the left. Opening those arms up. Keep holding it here. Instagram, you're going to get a lot of me doing this today because I don't want the camera to turn off. Opening it out. Nice stretch here. Maybe take the right arm, sweep it up overhead, maybe add hands, maybe a bit of a massage depending on where you're feeling this. If you like music in your practice, please feel free to pop the music on. Taking that arm wherever you need it to go to bring the legs back up to center. Can we slide the thigh over? So we'll allow that right leg to continue its journey so those legs are really nice and squeezed. We're going to take our arms and wrap them around ourselves like we're giving ourselves a nice big hug. And so your right leg is the leg that's on top. Your left arm is going to come underneath. We're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to scoop through that belly, roll up to our toes, and draw the knees into the chest. And then maybe we curl up and add our elbows. Squeezing here for 2, for 1, bring it down. Now, if you love that and you would like to up the ante, you're going to lift your forearms and squeeze the backs of your hands together. Or maybe they wrap around fully into a bound eagle, taking a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop the low belly and curl the upper body up. Squish for 2. For 1, we're creating compression through the abdomen here, through the digestive tract. One more time, breathing in. Breathe it out, scoop and squeeze for 3. For 2. For 1, bring it down. Opening those arms up, keep the bound shape. Toss the legs over to the left. Or not toss, I guess. Control and lean. Control and lean. Ever since Instagram added the Instagram Reels, whenever I try to record a class, it just blacks out, which never happened before. And so the past couple of weeks, they haven't been able to record on Instagram. And today I'm committed to, I will get up every time that screen goes black and I will turn that screen back on. Noticing that with that more bound leg, maybe this twist feels a little bit different. Massaging it out. Guiding those legs back to center. Unravel that right leg. Give it a little shakety shake shake. Bring the legs back down. Maybe give them that windshield wiper again. That little bit of a support side to side. And then let's pause with the feet planted on the floor. Let's reach that left leg up this time, keeping the left leg nice and parallel, circling through those ankles in multiple directions. Maybe giving it an open and close, squishing through the toes. Always coming back to that breath, yeah? Practice does not always have to be rigorous to be effective. Sometimes what our nervous system needs and what our body needs is not that at all. Taking that leg, can we externally rotate it? So you're going to turn it out and do the same thing. Circling through that foot, through those toes. Giving yourself that squish and a nut squish. Keep going, circling and squishing, circling and squishing. And then bring that leg through parallel, internally rotate it. So notice it's not a huge movement. Same thing, circling through that ankle, open and closing through those toes. Good little workout for muscles that support your ankle, yeah? Especially if we don't usually work them in multiple directions. Coming back to parallel, give that leg a nice shakety shake, shake, shake. Let's take that left ankle, cross it over the right knee. Maybe give yourself a little tippity tip here, side to side, flexing out through that foot. Noticing the relationship of your low back to the floor and making a mindful effort to see if we can stay pretty neutral here. Then maybe rolling up to those right toes without using your hands, using the leverage and the strength of your legs, pulling those legs up and in, flexing through those feet if you can. So that intersection of your ankle and your thigh, lots of work happening here, turning those thighs out. Flexing through your feet and you're simultaneously hugging in and opening up. If and when you feel like you'd like to add your hands in, go for it, but see if you can do so without losing all of that strength you've just harvested. Or hardness, I should say, not harvested. We're getting closer to fall, yeah, harvested. Maybe a little rock here if that feels good. And then placing the right foot back down on the floor, but keep the shape. Press into the right foot, scoot your bum a little bit to the left. Let's take that tip over to the right. Opening up through that thigh. Maybe you add hands here to massage. Keep going, keep breathing. Maybe you add some extra bit of breath. Whatever your body needs. Maybe you add an opening of that arm. When you're ready, bringing the leg back to center and then continuing that journey so that the left thigh keeps sliding and squeezes on top of the right. Reaching those arms up so your left leg is on top, your left arm will come underneath. Giving yourself a nice big hug, but lifting up through those elbows. When you're ready, starting to scoop through the belly, rolling up through your toes, squeezing thighs into chest, and then nodding chin and curling up, adding the elbows for 3. For 2, nice squeeze. For 1, lower it down. Now maybe you'd like to add on and you lift up through those forearms so they have a little back-to-back hand squish, or maybe you fully interlace them, but keep the elbows reaching up. Take your breath in as you breathe out, drawing the belly, the chest, the knees towards each other for 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 2. For 1, gently lowering it down one more time. Take your breath in as you breathe out. Scooping, curling. You got it. For 3, for 2, for 1. Lower down, unravel. Nice job. Walking out through those feet, little rock side to side. Take a nice big breath in and then exhaling it out. Can we reach those arms up overhead? Give yourself a nice big stretch. Maybe you would do a yawn. Keep breathing here in and out. And then this is one of my favoriteest things to do is walk those feet over to the right corner of your mat. Stack your left foot on top of your right, but keep that left hip down. Walking your hands over to the right. Can you scoop your body over? But notice that my left shoulder stays down as well. Collecting the left wrist with the right hand, bringing a bit of a side stretch into that body. Yeah, left thing over. So instead of sort of rolling off in space, I'm trying to keep my pelvis and my shoulders down, lengthening out through that side of the body. You can look up, you could look to the left, you could look to the right. And can we let this shape be fairly peaceful? I sort of like to turn to the left because I can let my head rest into the nook of my left arm. That might not be true for your experience, but that's sort of how this shape resonates in my body. And it's really nice. I feel like I could fall asleep. That's for me anyway, yeah. Big breath in. Exhaling it out. Let's take 8 more breaths here. And maybe there are those nice calm inhaling for 4, maybe with a hold exhaling for 4. Keep breathing in and out. Sweet breaths. Starting to approach those final few rounds. And as you do, unraveling the binding, gentle binding of the arms and the legs, bring yourself to center. Maybe give it a bit of a shake. Just a gentle pat. Maybe that's not at all what you want to do. And then walking this over, so left foot comes to the left side, the right foot follows and hooks on top. The upper body takes that side bend over, collecting the right wrist with the left hand, feeling the right shoulder, right hip, finding the floor, looking up or over, whichever feels best for you. Tracking those inhales and exhales with maybe an extra little bit of love for your body, maybe an extra bit of gratitude. An extra bit of kindness. Following that 8 counts, 4 in, 4 out, maybe with a hold. But truly allowing the resonance to exist in your body, however feels like the most perfect version for you. And that could be different today than it was yesterday. And that is the beauty of being human. Every day is a different lived experience. Every day we're creating new cells and new memories and new patterns. Let's say 3 more rounds of that 8 count breath if you're participating. Taking your time, indulging in them. If you're practicing in silence, noticing the tone of the room around you or the tone of the space around you. And if you're not, if you're practicing with sound, really listening to the complexities of whatever it is you have going on. When you're ready, coming back to center, again, let's shake it out a little bit. Collecting those knees into the chest, giving yourself a little rock, a little massage side to side. Let's keep that left thigh hugged in. Let's let that right leg go nice and long. Maybe taking that left thigh and drawing it a little closer and towards the chest and then circling it out and around. And then back in. Really slow, delicious circles here. Massaging through the hip joints. Taking it the other way. Regardless of what's happening around us, finding a hot second to come back to, oh, right, this is what I'm doing. Maybe switching your grip and bringing it to the back of the thigh, drawing that thigh in a little bit closer, lengthening out through the thigh. So we're creating a 90-degree angle here, lifting up through the shin. Flexing through that foot. Now, maybe this gives you the most leverage for compression. Maybe bringing your hand up a bit higher to your ankle gives you the most opportunity for compression. Maybe connecting to the pinky toe side of your foot to draw in. And if you have really long arms, you might have the capacity to wrap around. That's not super fun in my body, so I'm going to stick with the pinky toe edge. Giving that opposite leg lots of work here, lots of energy as we reach it out. Feeling that opposing experience of the bottom leg lengthening and the top leg hugging in for 2. For 1, gently drawing it in. And let's give those legs a bit of a shake out, nice and long. When you're ready, collecting that right leg in towards you, giving that a nice squeeze and lengthening out through the left this time. When you're ready, following that breath cycle, circling that right thigh in your hip socket. Out and around and in. Out and around and in. Noticing how your breath maybe changes in certain experiences. And maybe you're moving and what you really want to do is close your eyes and take a nap. Maybe you're moving and what you really want to do is jump up and shake around. And I mean, please go for it. Really drawing that thigh in. Now, as you hug that thigh in, continue to lengthen out through the left leg. Maybe switching your grip to the back of the, or the underneath, I should say, of the right thigh as you hug the right thigh in a bit closer. And keeping it where it is, start to lengthen out through that shin and calf so you get more of a 90-degree angle here. Maybe it feels really fabulous to keep the hands on the back of the thigh. Maybe connecting to that ankle and hugging in is where we want to go. Or maybe there's opportunity for that pinky toe reach. Hugging it in, hugging it in, hugging it in. Continue lengthening out through that left side. We've got 2 breaths here. 1 more. Lengthen that leg out. Give that leg a nice little shakety shake. Let's slide the blanket out. If you have anything underneath your head, I suggest you just sort of lightly toss it to the side or place it to the side. Feeling your feet planting on the floor. We're going to roll through our spine here and lift our hips up. So if you have something under your head, it just sort of throws off your alignment. And we want to make sure that we're all staying nice and safe. Yeah. Feet planted into that floor, taking a breath in. As you breathe out, scooping through the belly, pressing your feet into the floor, lifting your hips out and up, one vertebrae at a time. Taking a breath at the top to feel that nice length. And as you breathe out, really see if you can articulate from really at the top of the spine, and then especially that scoopy low back as we come back to center, taking your breath in. As you breathe out, massage those lumbar vertebrae, press into your feet and glutes, lengthen your tail up and out. Pubic bone leads the way as we lift. At the top here, breathing in as we breathe out, lowering down. We're going to add some arms to this. Letting your spine really release into that nice neutral pelvis. As we breathe out, we're going to scoop, lift the pelvis up. Now, as you inhale, can you reach those arms up and back behind you? And as you breathe out, roll your spine, but leave your arms in. It's like you're having a nice big morning stretch here. Bring the palms back down to the sides as you breathe in. As you breathe out, scoop through that pelvis. Keep moving. Lift your hips up one vertebrae at a time. As you inhale at the top, lengthen those arms up and back. Nice big stretch. As we breathe out, roll the spine all the way down. Oh, and as you roll, you can feel this sort of energetic exchange of the pelvis reaching down to the bottom of your mat and your arms reaching up to the top. Arms come down beside your hips as you breathe in. As we breathe out, let's roll, scoop, and lift it up. Inhale, reaching those arms, nice big stretch. Rolling it down. Massaging through those vertebrae. Inhale, arms come down one more time. As we breathe out, scooping and tucking through that pelvis, lengthening and lifting up. Inhale, arms reach up, lengthen back overhead. And as we breathe out, scoop, roll. Again, little rock side to side with those legs, making your way over onto your favorite side, and then pushing ourselves all the way up. Hello. Oh, thank you. Bringing ourselves onto our hands and our knees. If that doesn't feel fabulous, please feel free to stay up nice and straight through the spine, but you're always welcome to come onto the hands and knees. As we inhale, we're lengthening from tail to head. Draw the chest through the hands. Feel the shoulder blades hanging down your back. As we breathe out, scooping and rounding through that pelvis, tucking through your tail, maybe giving yourself an extra squeeze of the glutes. Inhaling to lengthen it out. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale to scoop, tuck, and round. Keep moving. I'm not giving up on you, Instagram. We've made it this far. We're going to keep going. Yeah. Inhaling one vertebrae at a time. Draw that chest through the space that your hands have made for you. Exhale, scoop around. Seeing again, like we're doing the reverse of that hip bridge, right? So can we still focus on that scoopy pelvis bit? Inhaling to lengthen it out. Exhaling to round. Let's bring ourselves back into one long line. Let's scoot your right hand towards, a little closer towards center. And can we super feel like we're pushing, like super, super, super push the floor away from us? Hand can come to your hip, to your chest, or just sort of close by. And as you push the floor away, can you use the energy of pushing to rotate your chest to the left? Lengthening that left arm up towards the ceiling as we breathe out, threading that left arm under and through. Inhaling, unraveling, push the floor away, open that spine up. Exhaling to thread it through. Ooh, twisting that spine. 2 more. Now super focus on that pushing arm more so than the twisting arm, because that's where the actual like juicy goodness of your twist is coming from. 1 more time. Inhale to push the floor away, lengthen it up. Finding your twist. We're going to stay in this twist. Allow the left shoulder to find the floor. If you'd like to keep your body weight forward because you feel happiest here, that's totally cool. If you'd like to walk your body weight back a little bit to sit towards your heels, toes can be tucked or not tucked. It's up to you. And as long as you have the bulk of your body weight back, you can reach that right arm up and bring it back behind. Give yourself a tap on the left hip. Nice breath in here. Breathing it out. Reaching that right arm up and over, planting the right arm on the floor, rolling ourselves all the way up. Maybe giving yourself a little shakety shake, shake, shake here. And then let's go to the other side. So left hand is going to scoot its way towards center. Lengthening out through the spine, feeling a nice strong left arm here. Right hand can come to hip, can come to chest, or just sort of close by. Keep pushing the floor away. Watch that left shoulder as we rotate and then lengthen the right arm up. Breathing out, thread that right arm under and through. Inhale, unravel, lengthen it up. Exhaling. And again, not worrying so much about how far the top arm goes. Think tons more about that bottom arm. Exhaling to twist. One more time, lengthen and reach. As we breathe out, thread the right arm through. Your practice, your body, your choice here. Hand can stay down if you'd like to stay forward. If you'd like to scoot back a bit, you can. And as long as your body weight is towards your feet, you're welcome to reach that left arm up and it just pats on the back of the right hip. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Following that flow of breath. When you're ready, left arm unravels through itself. Press into that left hand as we bring ourselves back up to hands and knees. Take a nice big breath in. Add hands and knees here. Breathe it out. Then however you would like to make your way towards a forward fold, you're welcome to do so. If you want to lift your legs up and walk them forward, you can. If you'd like to get off your mat and then come back on, please feel free to do so. Bending through the knees as much as you need to. Notice my chest is fully resting on my thighs here, yeah? Because that's how far it needs to go today. Maybe giving your hands a little rub together to toast them up, massaging through your calves, your Achilles tendons, through your hamstrings, through the sides of your waist, down your back, into your hips, into your toes. Maybe giving the tissues on your feet a bit of a rub, some fascial work for you there. And allowing the melting forward to happen. Now, if you don't like your head being below your heart, that's no problem. Please feel free to stay up halfway, yeah? A few forward fold flows. That's a hard thing to say. A few forward fold flows. As we inhale, let's lengthen out tail to head. Exhaling it back forward. Inhale, lengthen out tail to head. Exhaling to melt. And as you do this, can we think about the glutes being an initiator? That we feel our weight in our toes and our heels. Melting it down. 2 more. Inhale out and up. Exhale to fold. 1 more time. Out and up. Exhale to fold. Extra super bend in the knees. Push the floor away as we roll ourselves all the way up to standing. At the top, give those shoulders a nice roll backwards. Taking a few breaths in here. Can we take those arms, reach them up towards the ceiling. Circle your right arm around. And then bring it back up to center. Left arm circles back around. Back up through center. Right arm again, up and around. It circles behind you. Collecting towards the floor and then up. Left arm up and around. And then back up. Both arms inhale up. Exhale, right arm is going to come down towards the back thigh, connecting to that back of the pelvis. Left arm reaches up, circle it around, connecting to that back of the pelvis also. And so we're not trying to put our hands in our low back. I'd like you to try to find sort of that place where you're about to enter into glute territory. And we're not going to push on that. I want you to kind of feel it as feedback to scoop into it. So instead of your hands being something that pushes you forward, can you scoop your low belly into your hands? I'm trying to be super dramatic about it so you can see that shift, yeah? So feel like you're trying to radiate your belly button back towards those hands. Shoulders are going to roll onto your back. We're just going to lengthen the chest up. And I'm not pushing into my hands, remember. I'm trying to scoop my low belly into my hands as I lengthen my chest up. Whew. And notice it's like really not that big of a movement. It's super isolated to that thoracic spine. And it's, lengthening up, lengthening up, lengthening up, shining out through those collarbones, through my sternum. Take one more breath in. As we breathe out, drop your hands, drop your chin, gentle bend in the knees, start to roll your spine down to the floor, into that forward fold. Inhale to lengthen out halfway. Keep going. Exhale to melt it down into the floor. Let's take a lengthening out through the spine. Let's step the left leg back and draw the left knee down into the floor. Let's hug those legs in. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. And enjoy a nice bit of a squeeze through those legs here. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. So I like to stay nice and active in our shapes because the activity is what's going to give us the best results, right? You could be in a shape like this, super pushing your hips forward, but really what is that going to do if there's no support? So let's super support ourselves up here. If you'd like to reach that left arm up, you can. If you'd like to take a side bend over to the right, you can. If you have a block handy, it's an excellent time to just bring it with you. Inhaling here, exhaling here. Bringing those arms up to center. Now, stick your tail out as much as you can first. Then with your tail stuck out, start to straighten through the leg. We're going to lift the toes. And just notice what your maximum is here, yeah? So your maximum might be something closer to this, where it's almost like you're still in that lean, but the energy is back. And what we want to think about is that lengthening of the tail, the hugging of the hips back, and that digging in of the heel and hug it towards you. So your hamstrings get a moment to say hello. Woo! There is still a chance to squeeze through that quad, even if it's a little bit more minor. Whew, few breaths in this shape, yeah? Stay here, breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. We're going to turn this into its own sweet little flowy moment. So if we connect back down to the floor with that right foot, sweep the arms up. Maybe take that moment to find that little bit of a lift through the thoracic spine. Still thinking about scooping the low belly. As we breathe out, lowering down, shifting the body weight back, maybe lengthening up through the toes, trying to keep a nice long pelvis. Inhaling to come forward, hug the legs together, lengthen up, scoop through that belly. Exhale to bring it down, shifting that body weight back. Inhaling forward, hug the legs, fire the glutes, lengthen it up. Exhaling, down and back. You are like this. Inhaling and lifting it up. Exhaling down. Oh, it feels good to kind of flow through it. Yeah, one more time. Inhaling it up. Exhaling down, bum back, bit of a lengthening out. Take one more breath in here. Breathe it out. Bring yourself forward. Maybe fire up through that back leg. However you would like to make your way back to your forward fold, please feel free. A few little standing flows. Inhale to lengthen out halfway. Exhale, ripple, roll it down. Inhale, lengthening out, still feeling the press of the toes as the spine lengthens. Melting it to the floor. One more time. Inhale to lengthen it out. Exhaling it down. When you're ready, let's step the right leg back. Nice lengthened spine here. Lower the right knee to the floor. Hug those legs towards each other. Feeling that nice energy and then lengthening it up. Now, not everybody likes to tuck their back toes. Some like it down. I feel like my knee gets more protection when I bend it just because of how my kneecap is placed. But you might not feel that way, and that's totally fine, yeah? Hugging those legs together, trying to square off through those hips, firing through that back bum cheek, maybe lengthening those arms up in space. Maybe that's not at all what your body feels like it wants to do, in which case, don't do it. You're welcome to fold your mat over, add a little bit of extra cushion for your knee, truly, whatever's going to feel good. If you'd like to add a side bend, that left arm can come down. Maybe it comes to a block. And the right arm can reach over to the left. Breathing in and out. Enjoying that hug of the legs, that stretch around that hip. When you're ready, coming back to center, maybe again feeling that extra bit of lengthening, but we're not sort of sinking into the low back. We're trying to scoop into the hands that exist behind us, right? Bringing our hands down, starting by lengthening that tailbone back, and then working towards straightening through the leg. Now, maybe straightening isn't a truth of what's happening in your body experience. And so really it's whatever feels good, what makes sense for you. Feeling those hips square off, the heel hug down, hug that heel backwards. It's not as fun maybe as if we were to just sit and hang out, but it's way more productive and longevity-wise, more delicious for the body to practice this way. Back into that flow, let's bring ourselves forward, maybe lengthening those arms up, keeping that low back safe. When you're ready, coming down, sticking the tail back, bit of a reach. Keep going, inhale to lengthen it up. Exhaling down, tail sticks back. Inhaling forward to lift. Exhaling down to scoot back. 2 more. Press, squeeze, lengthen. Down and reach. 1 more time. Down, hug, lengthen. To the floor, lengthening it back. Taking a breath in to be here. Taking that breath out. Side's definitely not as happy. Bringing body weight forward again, firing up through those legs, and then making your way to a forward fold, however makes sense to you. Delicious, generous bend of the knees. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to the floor. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen, staying active through the back body. Melt it down. 1 more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to melt. Generous bend of the knees, pressing the floor away. Rolling ourselves all the way up. The arms follow and lengthen up overhead. Hands down through heart center. Taking a pause, maybe roll those shoulders up and let them settle down the back, palms forward. Mountain pose. Grounded pose. Connected to the earth pose. Let's inhale to lengthen up. As we lengthen, there's that moment to back bend, but can we keep thinking about energizing into those hands back behind you? Exhaling to dive it forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale to lower down, step back through both of your feet. Shifting body weight forward, maybe coming to the knees, and nice and calmly lowering chest to the floor. Let's walk those hands mat width, if not wider apart, tenting up through those fingers. Pressing your toenails into the floor. And that work that we experienced when we had our hands at our low back and we were trying to, without pressing our hands, trying to scoop our belly into our hands, that's what you're going to try to find here too. So we're not pushing ourselves into the floor. We're trying to actively engage through your transversus abdominis to scoop your body in. Glutes are on here. Tented fingers. Inhale, shoulder blades on your back. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, melt it down. Inhale, lengthen up and out. Ripple it down. So as we work here in this bit of extension breath, as we warm up the mobility of the spine, it might start to feel possible to lengthen up a bit higher, yeah? And then peel down. But knowing that the range is only as much as feels reasonable in your body, and only as much as you can keep shoulders away from ears, right? There's no point shoving our body in a shape it doesn't like to be in. And down. Maybe lengthening up, shifting a shoulder to the left, melting and giving that a little tap to the floor. Inhaling up through center, shimmying to the right, and then lowering to the floor. Keep going there. Inhaling to lengthen. Shifting through the shoulders, adding a little rotation there, and then melting down. Inhaling up. Twist and around. Inhaling up through center, exhaling to draw our chest down in space. Can you bring your hands to rest underneath your head? Can we give those legs a little tippity tap on the floor? And we're going to keep scooping that belly towards our pubic bone, that pelvis towards our pubic bone. Lengthening your right leg out and up to hover off of the floor. Now, as you lengthen your right leg, can you notice if your hips teeter-totter? Can we keep our hips totally level? Keep our hips. Can you bend through that right leg? Flex out through that foot maybe a little bit. And without changing your pelvis, can you squeeze your bum and lift that thigh up? Easier said than done. It's not going to go that high. Shoulder blades on your back. Keep your hands on the floor. Lengthen yourself out in space. And then that right hand is going to come around. It's not going to actually touch your thigh or ankle. We're just going to lengthen out. We're going to keep drawing into that extension. Maybe your left leg floats off the floor, but remember, you're not allowed to scoop to your hip bones. You have to stay to your pubic bone. For 3, for 2, last one, lower it down. Nice job. Little shakety shake through the back. Going to that other side. So again, interlacing those fingers, scooping through your pelvis, toenails on the floor. Let's bend through the left leg and then take a pause. And notice as you bend through that left leg, if that changes anything through your pelvis. And can we make sure that it doesn't, that we stay scooped towards our pubic bone. Bending through the left knee, flexing through the left foot, scooping through your pelvis. Drawing that belly in. And when you're ready, seeing how much you can maybe lift the thigh off the floor. Little clue here, it's not going to be that high without scooping to your hip bones. When you're ready, shoulder blades can come on your back. Lengthen your spine out and up a little bit. So it's just like you would if you were in a baby cobra, yeah? But our goal here is not to sit into our hip bones. And I know I have to work super hard at that. Can we take our left arm, reach our left arm around and back? You're not going to connect to your foot. And can we hold tension here? Squeeze through your arms. Keep scooping through your pelvis. Maybe the right leg lifts off of the floor, but only if you can keep to your pubic bone. For 3, for 2, for 1, bring it all back in. Give it a little shakety shake. Okay, round 2. Feet are planted on the floor. Hands are connected down. Let's again energize through the legs. Let's lift the right leg to float, making sure that we haven't left our pubic bone belly scoop. Bending through the right knee. Let's flex through that foot again. Let's lift up to our range where we don't tip to our hip bones. And then can you keep that same recruitment? So don't let the recruitment release, but now you're going to lift up higher so you will rock to your hip bone, yeah? Lower it back down. Feel your connection to your pubic bone. And as you lift that thigh up higher and higher and higher, notice that you sort of end up needing to take a bit of a scoop. But we're only taking that scoop, that pressure down into our low backs with the recruitment of everything else. Taking that right arm, reaching that right arm. Now maybe you might be able to make a bit of connection here. Keep the left hand on the floor to lengthen out and up. Keep squeezing into that back leg for 3, for 2. Maybe the left leg lifts. Last one. Lower it down, little release. So as we go into lots of extension through the back of the body, we want to make sure that our thoracic and our glutes and hamstrings are firing before we just go ahead and sit in our lumbar, because our lumbar will do that for us. It's like super happy to hang out for most of us in extension, but we want it to be active. We want it to be a shape that we can live in for a long time, right? Not just a short time. Other side, hands underneath the forehead, lengthening out through those legs. Let's lift the left leg out and up first. So remember, we're trying to scoop using our low belly in towards your hands, firing through those glutes. Lifting your left leg up, bending through that left knee, maybe flexing through that foot. Doing a little test run. So staying towards the pubic bone, firing glutes, hamstrings, then maybe lifting the thigh up a little bit. Lower it back down. And then as you lift it, notice the higher that it goes, you might have to scoop towards your hip bones, but you're still keeping all of the recruitment that you've just created. Lower down one more time. Start by lifting, feeling pubic bone. Then continue your journey up. Maybe point through your toe, maybe reach that left leg around. And maybe now you can find a little bit more extension, but we're going to keep the right arm down. Keep squeezing through that left bum cheek. Keep lengthening out through your chest, holding on to that recruitment for 2. Maybe your right leg joins you at the last minute. Last one, lower it all back down. If it feels reasonable, send yourselves up and back into a child's pose. Now we're going to hang out in child's pose here. If you feel like you would like to add a flow to your practice today, this will be your chance to do it. And I'm going to stay down, but I'll talk you through the breath. Inhaling to come forward into your nice, strong, supported plank. As you breathe out, maybe dropping through the knees as your chest and torso lower in one long line to the floor. Inhale, flip your toes, lengthen your chest up into a back bend of your choice. Exhale, up and back, downward dog. Take a nice big breath in, breathing it out. If being belly down like this doesn't feel fabulous, feel free to flip onto your back. We're going there anyway. If you're on your belly, can you walk your hands over to the right for me, feeling a side stretch through the left side of the body? Breathing it in, breathing it out. Hands walk through center over to the left. Feel the right hip hug back. Inhales and exhales. When you're ready, bringing yourself to center, coming all the way up, and then flipping onto our backs. So if you had that head support at the beginning, feel free to add it back in. Maybe we want something for our knees to rest over. Might as well get comfy, yeah? Heading into our Savasana. Now, Instagram, there's a chance that I'm going to lose you. So we are here in our Savasana. And if I lose you, have a fabulous rest of your day. Taking a breath in wherever you are. Exhaling it out. If your hands would like to rest somewhere specific physically on your body or next to your body, allow them to be where organically they'd like to go. And we started our time together by a 4-4 count breath. I would like to use this breath in our Shavasana practice, but extend it a little bit. So it's a little bit more restorative. And so this time, our breathing is going to be an inhale of 4 and an exhale of 6. Together, let's take a big breath in. Exhale it out. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. Collect as much oxygen as you can. Exhale, breathe it out. And then through the nose, inhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Then extra slow out for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhaling out 4, 3, 2, 1, for 2, for 1 to make 6. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhaling for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3. I'm going to talk us through one more of these. 1. Inhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, For 1, exhaling for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Letting your breath exist in your body in whatever pattern feels reasonable for you. I'm going to leave you with a few moments of silence, and then I will be here to close practice together. If your intention is to close practice together today, consider becoming more aware of your breath, of the inhales flowing in and the exhales deepening out. Becoming aware of if there's anywhere extra available to you to add a bit of softness and space. Following those inhales and exhales. If you'd like to start to add a bit of movement, please feel free to wiggle fingers or toes, to find a yawn, to reach your arms up overhead. Eventually making your way over onto your side, whichever side is fine. And when you're ready from there, bringing ourselves up to a seat. Seat could be many things: kneeling, cross-legged, standing. Maybe you're still happy on your side. When you arrive, potentially with closed eyes or dimmed eyes if you would like to keep them open. Bringing one hand to heart or heart center, second hand over that if that feels comfortable, bowing in. You're always welcome to have hands hovering if you prefer. Taking a moment to offer a bit of gratitude back to the land on which we practice from. If you are of a settler descent, acknowledging that this is not our indigenous territory and that there are indigenous peoples who have been looking after this land, whose land it does belong to. It is with gratitude that I get to be here with you today. And so I hope wherever your day takes you from here, that there's opportunities to plant little seeds of gratitude along your way. It was such a pleasure, and I hope we meet again soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.